Hopefully soon. All right. Good evening, everybody. This is John and Rob with the Co-Angler Corner. We're um, having some issues right now. Unfortunately, our guests couldn't make it tonight. However, we are still going to continue with our show. Oh, I'm sorry. I hit a button that wasn't good.
Oh,
Sorry about that, everybody. We're going to continue with our show. We're going to talk about different tips as a co-angler, what we can do, some things we can do, some things we can't do, and go from there. All right. So if you guys are on here, have any tips or questions or suggestions for us, let us know, and we'll be sure to try to get to them and answer them when as they come. All right. Welcome, Rob.
hey, how's it going, John?
Not too bad. How about you?
Doing outstanding, outstanding.
Excellent. You faring well in that nice southern tundra that you're in?
It's been up and down. It's been kind of crazy. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So like we were talking about prior to the show, Violetta hasn't couldn't make it tonight. She may be on a little bit later, but for right now, we're just gonna do talking about some tips that we have, and as far as being co-anglers, talk in general. So if you have anything you want to talk about, go right ahead. You can start us out, or
yeah, actually, tell you what, I don't know if y'all have them up in your neck of the woods, but we got a lot of Harbor Freights in our. And I watched a podcast guy use some, and I mean, for the price of what you get, it's pretty good. I'll show you one. I've actually always have trouble finding a good place for my hooks, and they got this little storage box, and it's like perfect for your hooks. I don't know if you ever see that real good.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean it for and it's real reasonable. I mean, good, got good latches on it. I mean, just perfect for. I think it's like maybe $8-9. It wasn't bad, but I mean, for the size of the hooks and where they go, you got little, removable compartments. So you can see them real good there. So I got my EWGs, my offsets, but like I say, I'll throw that back in my truck for a tournament. So if I'm missing some hooks or short some hooks, I just do. So, but yeah, man, you gotta be budget friendly these days for sure. So,
Yes, sir.
Actually, another one that I think you'll enjoy, John. There's another little box they sell. So you can see it real good. It's got a bunch of little individual boxes in it.
Yes.
And what I do is put all my tungsten in there. So I got half ounce here, all my little drop shot weights. But I said it comes with a whole bunch of little boxes like that.
Nice.
Like I said, just for the price, I mean, you can't beat it. But yeah, it's just keeps them dry, keeps them all organized. I mean, you just, but yeah. So I just found that out. But I said it's local Harbor Freight. I've been pretty impressed with it. I say even color coded it. I'm so OCD, I even color coded
it.
But
now, do you color code by size or by type?
Type. So drop.
Okay.
I think my regular drop shots are like blue, and I think my ones with the circle instead of the little pinch point, little circle. I think they're red, and I got flipping weights. So, but yeah, it's been great.
Yeah,
keeps it dry and easy to get, easy to pull out, easy to organize. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Well, glad to hear you found something good at Harbor Freight.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, let's not just throw inexpensive stores out of the way. Especially today's times. Harbor Freight's a good one. Sometimes dollar stores up here will have some good things.
Oh yeah.
And one of my buddies, I hope he doesn't get upset with me, but he told me that he was finding jackhammers at a store called Ollie's up here. I don't know if you have Ollie's down there.
Yeah, they do. I found some Zoom stuff.
Yeah, he was getting like jackhammers for $5-6.
Wow, can't beat that deal.
No, that'd be a good eBay find right there.
Oh yeah.
Pay for your season after 100 of them or so.
That'd be a stock up time.
Yeah.
And then another quick thing, I think I showed some guys on some other, but like always use rod socks, man, protects you rod. But one thing I do, I got so many reels, I can't remember if I got 10-pound test, 12 or 15. So what I do, I got a old label maker. You see that good? I got a little.
Yep.
Yep. I'll do a date. I'll do month and year, and I'll do kind of shorthand. Like this is I think fluorocarbon, 11-pound, and a date. So and it stays on there. I've had that over at least a season. I know. So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
since January. Yeah, 123. So I've had it on January, and it still hangs on there. So because I'll change around rods and reels sometimes, basically in the off season. So it does help a lot.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. That's probably one of the biggest things for me is can't remember what line I put on what.
That's what I've run into. And I was trying to write stuff down and number reels, and it was just that's the easiest way I found. And I've used that probably that's 3 or 4 years. So. And I had an old label maker from when I was doing cable and work, so it just worked out good. Can't beat it.
Okay.
And then
So
I'm not sponsored by Harbor Freight, guys. I'm just to let you know. So they got little boxes like this. They got some 3600 boxes, and I like it because it's got all 3 hinges on it and it has a gasket on it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it has the blue gasket there. So it seals the water out. But so I've been using those, and actually it's cheaper than some of the fishing ones that you can get. But I said it's held up well, seals out the water. So yeah, check those out. Pretty nice.
So I think you ought to get your paperwork together and go contact Harbor Freight.
Well, my dad lives right next door to one. He's in there like every week getting the free flashlights and whatnot. So whenever it's Father's Day or whatever, I'd go in there and get him, Father's Day card, gift cards, and kept looking around and saw that guy's podcast. I can't remember his name, or I tell you, but it's like that's pretty cool. And tried.
Yeah, I saw a guy's podcast that did that with the reels. So
yep,
I can't remember the guy's name either. And
just pick up tidbits here and there. So
yeah, that's all we can do. I mean,
oh yeah,
we all try to share everything, and but it is what it is. It's awful hard to one of the things as a co-angler, we look at expenses of things. Well, the pros do as well, but anytime we could save a nickel here, nickel there, dollar here, dollar there, it all adds up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think it's 100 years ago, back in like 2000. I think I seen I think they had a Bass University clinic down in UT Knoxville, and I went and I had Woo Daves. That's what his thing was, is angling and on the cheap, or cutting corners, but it's pretty good. He had a real good clinic.
Yeah, Woo Daves is a very smart man.
Oh yeah, he's still fish. I see him at a Bass Open once in a while. He'll still fish once in a while. He's slowed down quite a bit, but he's getting up there. I saw him at the Bassmaster Classic last year. So he's still getting around.
Little story about Woo. When back in 2004, when I worked at Bass Pro Shops up here, and when they first came in, he contacted the shop and wanted to know if anybody up here is familiar with Cuba Lake.
Yep.
And he'd been on Cuba a little bit, so me living 10 minutes away from it, and that at the time was one of my favorite places to fish.
Yep.
So we set up a time, me and a buddy of mine who had a boat, and we were out there and we showed him a little bit about Cuba Lake, and next thing you know, they filmed the show on it. So yeah, it was pretty nice. We had a show. It didn't really show us very much, but there was a couple times where they got the boat, got us in the background. The only thing is we didn't fish much. We just watched him trying to pick stuff up.
All right.
Yeah.
We did got a question real quick. I just noticed.
Yes.
My buddy Robert Holiday. Hey, what's up, Rock? That's me and him be actually kind of partnering up at the Del Hollow BFLs. But he asked, what's your top 3 best go-to baits as a co-angler? So I'll let you go first, John.
All right. As a co-angler.
Yep.
Baits or technique?
He's
or both. He does
baits.
say baits. Okay.
Yep.
My top 3. I'm gonna go with when Bass Snacks was around, they had a goby. It was like a fish with a Mr. Twister tail, a curly tail on it.
Yep.
It was about 3.5 inches long, and up here in the current, it would make that tail move. And I'll tell you, you could throw that on a drop shot or a Ned. That was a killer.
Oh, I heard that.
Yep.
Guess
All
my
right. How about
three.
you, Rob?
Well, of course, one drop shot. I cashed more money and more checks on a drop shot this season than any time. Just a robo worm or whatever, 6-inch robo
Yep.
worm. And I use two colors, Aaron's Morning Dawn and Margarita Mutilator. Some reason that Margarita Mutilator works good on TVA lakes.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post that. And it did. I cast a check on Old Hickory using that color. Two would actually be
Nice.
Wobblehead. I used a Wobblehead this year, early in the year. Had some good results, like a brush hog. Did real good on that. And let's see. Trying to think about all my catches this year. That's my definitely bit 1 and 2. Of course, shaky head. Jig, shaky head. That's
Yeah.
kind of an A and a B. So I guess jig, especially early in the year.
Yeah.
Just dragging a jig. Actually, I had my best finish with a jig was on Del Hollow, and I was actually dead stick. I found it by accident, cast it out there, and I had a loop. Of course, got a professional overrun on my reel. So I'm getting it out, pick it up. Hey, fish, a 3-pounder.
Right.
And I figured out, hey, dead stick it, and they'll bite it. And then about 4 or 5 casts later, I got a 5.7. So
yep.
And got big fish and 3 fish that day. Got big fish in fifth place.
Yeah.
Hey, my old buddy, Mr.
Right.
Ruger Dog
so,
himself.
Like you gave a couple, so I'll give another one.
All right.
I like a craw. I like a craw. What's that?
My buddy Joseph
No,
B.
I use a craw a lot. Carolina rigging.
Yep.
Ned rig.
Yep.
Yep. Hey, where are you guys from, if you don't mind asking? Just shoot a little message on there saying where you're from. I mean, I'm up in New York, and luckily I don't have any snow right now. But
I'm in Central Kentucky,
Yep.
south of Lexington, so close to Cumberland.
I'm 10 minutes away from Cuba Lake, 45 minutes from Oneida Lake, an hour away from St. Lawrence River. So yeah, I have it rough where I'm at right now. You know, but
Yep.
Joseph is in South Louisiana.
Yeah, I know exactly where he's at. Hey, David Archibald says, like what you're doing here, Toyota Series co-angler from Massachusetts, I think. I do Southern, Central, and North.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dave, I did Toyota Centrals this last year, and there's some hammers on that series. So
yeah, there's hammers all over up here.
Man. Great series.
Got some people from Georgia.
Yep.
Couple from Georgia.
Yep. Good deal. Good deal, Robert. Where y'all gonna be? You gonna be up here in Berea?
Joel's going to try to get on the live feed on YouTube. Just for everybody to know, an FYI type of thing. Rob and I are working on getting some baits from our sponsors. Well, I got a couple sponsors that are going to donate some stuff for me to give away. So we're going to probably after the beginning of the year, I'll have some stuff we can have giveaways and go from there. Yeah.
But yeah, David, that's those I talked to. The Toyota series got the best payouts, best bang for your buck. Everybody I talked to, and I think the best showing I had was at Gunnersville. Day one, I had a boater that was just on him. He had a pattern. He was flipping or throwing a chatterbait up shallow and rip it out of the grass. I think he had like 24 pounds, and I think I had like 8 pounds behind him on a spinner bait. But great day. He even at the end of the day, he says, "Man, I'm not going to be able to upgrade." And there's one little bank by a boat launch that he missed a couple. He says, "Hey, go through here and cast and see if you get you a couple more." And he run the trolling motor, didn't fish. Let me fish the last few minutes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. I had I had a boater up at Lake Champlain. He was way out. He was about 15 pounds out of cashing a check. So on day 2, he said, "I'll take you wherever you want to go. We'll go to where I was, and he taught me how to Carolina rig.
Yep.
I mean, I was out of the money, and he did basically the same thing. He's like, "Here you go." He made up maybe 10 casts the whole day.
Wow.
We were out there for about almost 9 hours, and we had about 2-foot waves where we were at, but Carolina rig, I'd never done it before, and he just let me, and he taught me and told me, and and that was in a Toyota series.
Yep.
People say they're all out here for the money. No, not all of them.
No, they. No. Yep, David, that's a good point. Actually, I got on a podcast with my buddies last night. I know my buddy Joseph B knows him, Money Bass, and he had Ben Milken on. And I asked Ben Milken straight up. I said, "Man, I'm a co-angler behind a forward-facing sonar angler. What's the best to do?" And he said, "Well, he had a good point. He said, if your boater's bringing in a fish, drop a little swim bait or something behind him. I mean, not toward the front of the boat, of course, but
right.
A lot of times those, like John was saying earlier before the show, he's talking, smallmouth will follow smallmouth and flip one out there close, and one of them get him. He says one of his co's did that in open. See, caught a limit behind him doing that, just dropping it down 8 or 10 foot, and fish would chase up, never fish. But yeah, I've tried some stuff. I've tried jerk baits. I said John was talking about the Carolina rig. I had a good kid. I mean, he was sharper than a live scope at I think it's Lewis Smith down in Alabama at Centrals, and he great guy, but I mean, he was on like trolling motor like 90 and just doing this the whole time. He's 150 foot of water. I'm like, what I'm doing here? So I threw out a Carolina rig, like John was saying, up shallow. I didn't catch anything, but I still had a good day. I mean, I learned stuff, and he showed me his setup. He had a little different setup for his electronics, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, Joseph. I'm not sure what's going on with the YouTube, but it's showing it's working on my end. So I'll have to contact YouTube later. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned about showing up somewhere. Just to let you know, we do broadcast live on the TAAO, which is the American Angler Outdoors Network. We are broadcasting live on that website, and all of our shows will be then downloaded to the JCX streaming channel on there. So if you miss it, you can always go there and watch them. We're gonna have some other type of shows coming as well. You want to talk about a new exciting series we got coming there, Rob?
Yeah. All right, it's going to interview some young ladies from the LBAA tour. Looking forward. There's I know a couple of them has fished the Bass Opens and some Toyotas. There's some sticks out there. And it seems like with all the high school and the college, there's more and more showing up into sports. So we're looking forward to interviewing some of the ladies and get their take on fishing the LBAA, and looking forward to that. That's going to be something y'all going to see in the near future.
Yes, sir. Now, I just want to give a shout out to, I call him Papa D, Richard Hyde. I worked with him over at Bass Pro. We've been a long time friends. So I just want to say hi to him. He's on here.
Cool.
Yeah. But okay. So I guess the Facebook feed is going well. I guess they're having some issues with the YouTube. So I can't check the website, because if we do, we'll get some feedback, and well, we don't want to do that right now.
Yeah, everything's working good. So
yeah, everything is working good. If you guys are on here in our last episode with Barb Elliott talking about fizzing fish, Rob and I both got a couple kits.
Right there. I get my finger right. Yeah, Barb's a great lady. Yeah, she's just she's just unreal. She's what'd you say, John? She won conservation of the year, and
yep, through through BASS. I want to say it was last year she won Conservationist of the Year.
Yep. It's
I
down
think they give
there.
out.
I mean, genuine she can be.
Yes, she's definitely a great woman. Very knowledgeable on barrel trauma with fish. She taught a lot of the elites how to fizz fish just for up here. And when she does that, it's at no cost. I mean, she just goes and does it to keep our fishing prosperous up here. But so
Yep.
along
Good system.
along with that, Rob, we were talking about with your Harbor Freight stuff.
Yep.
I actually found a couple deals on Temu.
Yeah.
Okay, some bags. I don't know if you saw my episode a couple years ago on how I pack for tournaments, but I was using Ziploc bags.
Yep. Yep.
You know, to keep my different styles of baits in them. Like one bag would have drop shot, one bag would have Senko style baits, plastic stick baits. One would have tubes. You know, well, I think it was like $5-6. They had 10 bags that were 15 by 8 with a zipper on it, and they were decent plastic.
Huh.
So I said, well, I'll give it a try for $5. I got them, and oh man, they're nice.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, so I just gotta label them up so I know which one, and they're color coded, which is even better.
Yeah, I got some of my totes. I do that. I got like gallon bags, and I'll have like my Zoom stuff. I'll have like light color worms, dark color worms, and I put it in like a gallon bag, and I put it in 2.5. I think
Yep.
I think
Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Rob, you got a looks like you got a little bit of a duel going on here, huh? Rob says he'll see you in March.
Yep.
On Dell Hollow, right there.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Oh man, yeah. That's my partner right there. So
yeah,
easy smokes me. If I can just stay within 10 places, I'm doing good. So yeah, he's a hammer. Hey, good to see you, Rock. I'll holler at me tomorrow.
Yeah. But
And Alvin Butch, I never can say his last name, but thanks for tuning in, Alvin.
Paliani, yep. He's he is the administrator of the website and the streaming channel. Okay. Alvin Butch, yep. Mr. AVP.
That makes a heck of a spinnerbait.
Well, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm joking. Also, he has a tackle shop online now.
Oh, cool.
Yep, he just added some jigs today. It was either today or yesterday. He added some jigs to it, and I looked at some of them. I'm like, oh man, this is not good for my my marriage.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, he's doing a great job, and I bounce things off him, and talk to him a lot.
Yep.
And he's very knowledgeable in the fishing industry. He's actually going to be one of our guests here in a couple months.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Yep.
So is there anything else you want to talk about, Rob? Any other Harbor Freight deals that you found lately?
Well, I'll shout out my girl, Miss Jan Hallman. Yep. I stayed with Jan and her son and them at I think we did a Toyota at Dale Hollow. That was a blast. We had good times. I'm looking forward to doing it again. Will come March. So we're planning on doing that again and splitting the house. That's always fun when you have the good folks and hanging out and you're barbecuing or eating. It's good times. But I guess there's some stories. I got tons of stories, but I fished the regional at Eufaula. First time I ever been in Eufaula. As a kid, I always see Eufaula. I always wanted to fish it, and it's a little weird. There's no grass there now. All the grass is almost gone, except way back in the creeks or coves. So it's a 2-day event, and first day I get a great guy, and wind's kind of rough, storming kind of rough, and so we take off, and I think he had a Phoenix. Yeah, he's a good guy, great driver, and it was pretty rough. We was bouncing through there, and it was just light rain, and I had one of those inflatables on, and for whatever reason, off the cord snag, poof, my inflatable popped. I'm sitting here looking up, and he's like, he taps me, okay, yeah, go. And I'm staring at the sky. And like 5 minutes later, this rogue wave comes in, and it's just like it throws the boat up like that. And I'm pretty much along for the ride. And he grabs my arm and he kind of sets me back down. I was like, hey man, appreciate that. I was wet, I just slipped, but yeah, I kind of bruised my ribs a little bit. I was a little sore, but still had a good day. I caught a bunch of non-keepers. I think I had 6 or 7 non-keepers that day. I think it was maybe 15-inch minimum. It's 14 3/4, 14 and a half. And I was like, yeah, that's the way it goes. And that day I was using that RoboWorm Margarita Mutilator, and I was getting bites. I just didn't get the right. So I think he had one decent one.
Is that like a brown and green color?
It's like a purple on top and brown on the bottom. It's real dark. But I've had pretty good luck on darker water on it. And it's funny, day 2, I got his travel partner, young kid, great kid. He had an old, I think he had a Blazer. He had an older boat, but it was a good boat. So he wants to run all the way to Dam, and he throws out the old Carolina rig like you was talking about. And about the 4th, 5th cast, he pulls in like a 413. I'm like, man, we own him. And so we kept on fishing. We didn't get much anything else. And before we leave, I kept looking. I'm on the back of the boat, and I'm like, hey, does your boat always sit this low? And he's like, no. I'm like, open up the rear lid and the water's up to the batteries. Like batteries here, water's like right here. I'm like, this ain't good because we're way at the south end. And then the bilge don't work. So he's playing with the bilge. He's like, wait a minute, I know where the bilge is. So he gets the bilge, hot wires it to the battery direct, and starts pumping on. All right, we in business. And I think what happened, older boat, I think is on his motor, I think his bolts started getting loose and water is leaking through them. Sometimes it leaks, sometimes it wasn't. So we get to another spot and look in there. Yep, it's full of water. And then the bilge quits working altogether. It just quits. I'm like, dang it. So we look around, and he had one of those boat bumpers. You had the little black football. That's all we had. So he cut it in 2. So there's a spot between the seats. I'm bailing out. He's at the back bailing out. We get it somewhat, down, and we run the next spot. Before we leave, we bail out, and then I caught a couple decent ones, and
nice.
Yep, on drop shot. And it's weird that Margarita Mutilator didn't work that day, but I had a old pack of I think it's pumpkin punishers, like green pumpkin with a yellow tail.
Okay.
And some reason I started throwing that, and I started getting bites. So I don't know. So we run their way in, and they're like, "All right, man, get me close to dock. I'm gonna jump out, and I'm gonna run up there and get us weigh bags and run back. We weigh in and get back to the boat so this thing won't sink." So we weigh in, and so we weigh in, get back to the boat, and like the water's like halfway up the console. But and the boat launch is just around. And like I said, by the time we got on the boat, we talked to his buddy for like 30 minutes. The boat's still like pouring out. But it's still a good day. I mean, he felt bad. I was like, hey, man, it happens. It's boats. It's no boat. It happens. I still had a good day. I caught something, got the way in. And and for the co-anglers out there, I don't know if y'all heard it or seen it, the side pot. It's a guy out of Kentucky here, right? Somerset, Luke Schrader. And it's like in tournaments, you enter it. So if you want to enter like the BFL, and you want to enter the side pots, $100. There's per tournament. There's no monthly fee. Yeah, I know. I stay wet, man. I do better when I'm wet. But anyway, the side pot is $100 for a co-angler on the BFLs. I think Toyotas too. But you're competing just against the other guys on the side pot. Like on the Eufaula, I had maybe 4 guys entered it, and I was the top. So I think I finished 77th because I zeroed day 1. But out of the 4 guys, I was the top finisher. So I got the pot, and it's over $300. So I've hit it twice this year. I've entered it twice and hit it twice. But yeah, side pot fishing, guys, check it out, especially your co. I hit it at Cumberland. I think I finished 14th, and actually the side pot paid more than the BFL paid me. So
that's terrible.
Yeah. So
nice. Yeah, that's
David, that side pot, man. Like I said, I entered it twice. I wish I entered it more. So I've got lucky. I've hit it twice, but Said the more
Yeah.
guys that enter it, the bigger pot it is, and more places it pays. So
Okay, so it's not just one place.
no, well, if it's I think it's 1 to 6. I think it just pays first place, and then like 6-10, it may pays two. It has on the website what the payout scale is. But
Okay.
it's slick, man. I mean, I think by the Wednesday after tournament, check was in the mail. He'll mail you a check. So it's ain't one of those things you got to wait till next year, end of the season. He mails them out come Monday. So, but yeah, guys,
Not a
check
bad
that out.
thing.
It's well worth.
Yeah, some of these you have to submit, then have to verify, and
Yeah, I know some contingencies like that. They won't pay you to the end of the season, but I said, come Wednesday, 2 or 3 days later, check was in the mail.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I want to talk about, if you don't mind, is eyewear.
Yep.
Sunglasses. A lot of you know that back in August I was in a boating accident, and luckily I was wearing good, expensive glasses. Well, I was wearing Costa Del Mar's. What happened? We hit a wave, rogue wave. I ended up flying up towards the front of the boat, hit my face on the deck, shattered my glass, my right lens. Every doctor I went and looked, I mean, it was the lens looked like a rocket in the windshield and just spider cracked. Every eye doctor I went and saw after that, I think I've seen probably 4 or 5. They said if I was wearing inexpensive glasses, the lens would have probably shattered and went into my eye and possibly blinded me. So yeah, don't scrimp on your sunglasses. I used to use the $10, $15 ones at Bass Pro all the time, and then my wife talked me in a couple years ago getting a good pair of glasses, and I thank her, because my problem was I would lose sunglasses all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you spend a couple $100 for a pair of glasses, and you don't really lose them as much. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've had a buddy of mine. I think he was a boater. His co-angler had a 1 ounce weight hung up, and it come at his eye, and I think he had Wiley's or something. The same thing. Yep. It protected his eye. If he didn't have it, it'd been bad.
Yeah. So yep. Safety's, like I tell all my boaters, I'm like, I got one goal. Come back alive.
Yep. One piece.
One piece. But yeah, it's one rogue wave away from could have been very tragic.
Yeah.
So especially up here in the north where you get 3, 4, 5 footers all the time.
Yeah, I saw an accident. I think it was last year's wild card is at Wheeler, and it was some big rollers coming in. It was pretty rough, rainy, high winds. It was kind of rough conditions. And some reason this catfish tournament or something washed out the same boat launch as us. And this guy had a big black boat and a big canopy, but he sat right in front of where he's launching out. And I guess one of the boats got up on plane, never saw him, and come landed on top of him. Luckily, nobody made. I think the guy in the boat maybe had a broken leg. That was the worst thing of it. It could have been a lot worse. It was. I know. Coach Carter. I think he saw it. Yeah. I launched out before it happened. I think Coach kind of seen it happen and kind of freaked him out a little bit for a while. So.
Oh yeah, it does.
But yeah, here you just be make fishing easy as a fat kid at the Golden Corral, going back for seconds.
Oh well, I'm not afraid to go back for thirds either.
That's true. Yeah, I wish I'd entered a few more. I tried to enter the ones I knew I was going to do pretty good at. So
yeah,
there's a couple I said, man, I should have entered it. So
yeah. So Rob, what do you plan on fishing this year?
I'm gonna try my hand. I've talked to one guy every day. I'm gonna do some Bass Nation events here in Kentucky. They go in some of my favorite lakes, Dell Hollow, Cumberland. There's a couple on their schedule I've always wanted to fish, hadn't had a chance to. And of course, I'm gonna do some BFLs. So I'm gonna do a little more local.
Okay.
Being I got a new job, I'm not gonna do the Toyotas. I enjoyed the Toyotas this year. Great great events, but I think I'm gonna fish more local this year. So, of course, I'm gonna do some shows. East Tennessee Fishing Show. If y'all get to go, I think it's the end of January, 1st of February. That's a great show. Tons of crankbaits. It gets bigger every year. That's a great show to go to. So, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of fish local for sure.
Okay. Yeah, myself. I mean, I'm up in New York, and I try to talk Robin to coming up here and fishing Lake Champlain with me, but
It's gonna happen eventually.
yeah, eventually it will. But no, I'm going to do the Bass Nations. I'm also going to do the Northeast BFLs, and probably the one Lake Champlain Toyota Series, only because my buddy Rob is going to be coming up and doing it with me. But
Hey, you never know. You never know.
never know.
But
But
actually, I
no,
looked at. I know your regional is gonna be at Kerr. I actually looked. Buckeye, I think, has the same regional. I said, I'm gonna have to fish some Buckeye events. I fished a few Buckeye events in the past, and
yeah,
I think they got one Ohio River. I think one Mosquito. So I may sneak up and do some Buckeye events. You never know.
there you go. That'd be cool. We can both hit the regional together, and
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
then we can both qualify for the BASS Nationals.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, what does everybody else on here fish? Anyone else fish Bass Nations or BFLs, Toyotas? But no, Rob, I think you're on to it with the Harbor Freight and the tackle boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I started off with one box, and I was like, man, this is pretty good. For the amount of money. I mean, it compares to the other higher dollar boxes, let's say.
Right.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. And I got another box, and then I got 3 or 4 of them now. So,
Nice.
yep.
Yep. Excellent. So, we got any more questions for us, Rob? I'm not seeing anything else flying across the screen right away. But anyone else have any questions for Rob or myself? Any tips, pointers they want us to throw out to the world?
So if we don't have to answer, we can make it up or find out.
Oh, exactly. Let's do that.
Yeah.
We can make a bunch of stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
So trying to find out as we're going through here, trying to find out what's going on with Joseph has a question for you. For the attorney pros.
Bring it on, Ruger Dog.
All right.
He's way down the bayou. It takes his stuff sometimes a little bit to come through.
Yeah.
But,
might be Santa Claus might be dropping it off for you in a stocking. All right, here we go.
hey, man, I was raised up in a Green John boat, man. So yeah, I don't know. Hey, I had some Amish guys show up at work today. It was kind of interesting. It was straw hats, black overalls. Good old boys though. They build pole barns. That's all they do. Build barns.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Have you ever watched them do that?
No, I've seen a bunch of them around here. Oh, I did. Speaking of that, I think I was at Barron River one time, which is in West Kentucky, and a lot of Amish out there. And I was going to practice, and there's this little marina, and there's this Amish cart from you. I kid you not. It had a black Amish cart and it had a neon green kayak on the top of it. And this tall Amish kid got out and started paddling around in the bright green kayak. Just weird, just kind of weird stuff. And then I think a day of the tournament, we sitting there waiting on launch, and this old Amish man out Amish cart and a John boat and a horse, and he backed down this steep ramp on the other side of the cove, and I'm like, and he like backed that thing down straight as it could be, went up there and tied the horse up and motored off. And it just it was just bizarre because I mean just to keep them 3 things straight, and it just straight like he does it every day. So
Thanks, Papa D. Enjoyed having you on here. Dick Hyde said have a good night to me, and you take care, stay in good health. But yeah, no, we got quite a few Amish families up here, and to watch them work is
Yeah.
incredible.
And these boys, they'll get some rental equipment, some skid steer stuff. They got their own skid steer, I guess. But it's funny, they got a big black Dodge Dually with a diesel, and but them dudes throw it up pretty quick. Usually the next day they're done and they're bringing the equipment back. So they
Yep.
pretty quick.
Yeah, we one of my old bosses had him put up a barn for him, and there's probably about 10 of them.
Yep.
A pole barn, that is. There was about 10 of them, and came lunchtime, 5 took a break, 5 still worked.
Yep.
They're always working. Somebody was always pounding a nail in.
Oh yeah, them boys get with it. I mean, hey, hats off to them. I mean,
Yes.
But another weird thing. I think I was at Columbus. Another job I had. I was in Columbus, Ohio. First this year, must have been last year anyway. So they had the big fishing expo, Columbus, Ohio, and I was like, and one of my sponsors there. I said, well, I'll get done when I need to done at work, and I'll stop by there. And it was Amish guys all over the place walking through. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, good guys, but they're just walking around checking stuff out. I just, you'd think you'd see them at a fishing show, but it was.
Hey, they throw Senkos like a champ.
I bet they do.
Oh yeah, I was fishing, practicing for a. Well, back then it was a Federation tournament, and we were just sitting there watching them, and they're throwing Senkos, catching fish left and right. There was about 6 people in that 14-foot John boat.
Jeez.
And they kept them. Yeah, they kept them all.
That's funny.
Yeah, but they were having a good time.
Hey, they found something good and it was biting. Hey, more power to them.
That's what it's about, having fun.
That's it.
So, anything else you want to? Any other?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting. All the Bass Pro Tour guys kind of switching over to Bass. It's been a lot of movement. It's been kind of a crazy season. I think it's just going to get crazier by the time rolls around next year. I mean, it's been a lot of movement around. Some anglers been. Hey, Joseph B said he found us on YouTube now. So
yeah,
cool deal.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but
go ahead and
it's gonna be a lot of movement.
That.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of movement. I think we haven't seen the last of that. I don't know. We ain't seen that much movement since 2018 when the Bass guys went to BPT. So it's kind of reversed now. It's kind
of yeah. So Rob, have you gotten your invitation to fish the Toyota or the BPT
Tackle Warehouse? Yeah. I was like, man, I ain't got a boat. Why they send me an invitation? Apparently, they had some trouble filling the field. I don't know, but I mean, there's quite a few that went out, I guess. So
yeah, I talked to several of my friends, and they got their invitation. I didn't get one, so they must have looked at my stats and been like, no, he can't catch fish.
I've even heard of guys that was like Coes and BFLs got invites. I don't know what their criteria or whatever was. It's just like they just mass emailed everybody. So
yeah, I think their criteria is having money.
Yeah, got a boat, got money, and your warm body. Good to go. But yeah, that's a tough. Yeah, I hear you, Dave. Yeah, I mean there's some hammers still in that league. They can see what they want, but there's some serious hammers in that.
Oh yeah, there is. You know what? It's getting to the point where it doesn't matter what you fish. There's hammers in them.
Yeah. BFL. Like I said, the Mountain Division in Kentucky, the BFLs I fish, there's some guys that've been fishing it since Red Man. I mean, there's some sticks. I've seen. I think I was at Dale one time, or no, I was at Cumberland. And I was in this river, and I seen Wesley Strader buzz by. He was in it. I was like, well.
Yeah. Makes you feel good, huh?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm running with the big dogs.
Yeah, I'm donating more money today.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's okay. It makes it fun.
Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
I say I know, like you, like I've run into a bunch of guys that I fished with or got to know, and I guess it's because I'm so old. I'll be at a tournament. And say, hey, Rob, how's it going? And I walk back, and I'm like, who was that? So, and then later on, I'll usually remember. But at the moment, I'm like, the wheels are turning kind of slow.
Yeah. happens. It happens with me too.
Yeah, but it's a lot of good guys, man. I
No,
tell you.
it's a good time. And
I said, have you ever got the same boater twice?
all right, David. David said I would
There
do
you
it if I
go.
had the funding. I'll win my money in the Champlain. Hey, come on over.
Hey, roll with it. Roll the dice. But you ever had the same boater on the BFL like
Champlain's
same season? I've had my
Champlain's a
boater.
great fishery.
Yeah.
There's another question for everybody. What's your favorite fishery? What's your favorite body of water to fish?
I got two. That's hard to check. Gunnersville and Chickamauga. Those are kind of, I guess maybe Gunnersville. I've had a choice between two, Gunnersville.
I've only fished Gunnersville once.
Yep.
It wasn't a great tournament for me. It was in the Toyota Championship years ago.
Yep.
My day one partner, he was throwing a 1.5 ounce jig, and I was throwing a frog. He had 21 pounds. I had a lot of missed bites.
Oh man. Yeah, I've been at a BFL super tournament, and I think I had 12 blowups on a frog. Didn't get one. I'd like to just sit there. I wouldn't even set the hook, just let it sit there and nothing.
Yeah.
I like fishing a toad
He
better.
had
Toad looks like you get better hookups to me, but
yeah. It doesn't matter. I can't catch fish on anyway.
Yeah, I'm starting to catch fish down there. Actually, I did last season. I did the big bass tournament on Chickamauga, Gunnersville, buddy of mine, and cashed first event, and I cast a check out the back of the boat on a big swim bait. Mag draft is a mag draft, and I think it's like a 4.5, 4.8. Okay. But he hit it twice. I felt him swipe at it. I'm like, ooh. So I stopped it, and I just kind of popped it, and bang, he hit it. So, and then of course going to weigh in, we break down. So, we still made it, made it to weigh in.
Yeah.
One of those crazy days.
Before I forget, I want to say
those big bass tournaments, man, are a lot of fun.
Yeah. They had one. I think they're having one up here again this year on St. Lawrence River.
Yeah, I mean it's fun because you launch whatever ramp you want to launch at, weigh in whatever hour you want to. So it's just a different feel. But I had a blast. I'll definitely do another one eventually.
Nice.
Yeah, Joseph, I could do that. It's always something weird happened to me, boat breakdown, or I could write a book.
Yeah.
Or comedy. I could do a comedy movie probably.
There you go. What not to do to become a pro fisherman.
Yeah. Well, the funniest, I don't know if I told you this one time, I had a BFL in Cumberland, was kind of my home lake. And it rained the night before, and I had a young guy, and he's a good guy. And so he left his plug out, let the rainwater out. Well, I guess he forgot to plug it back in. So I'll launch him out, picks me up, and we're out there in the middle just kind of waiting. Bill just going crazy. He's like, oh, man, I forgot to plug. I was like, well, just run up there and let one of the guys will let you borrow a trailer. Run up on the trailer and plug it in. We'll go. He said, no, I got this. So this kid strips. It's 40 degrees now. He strips down his underwear and says, grab my ankles. I'm like, huh? So he's scuba diving. I got him by the ankle. Luckily, he wasn't 130 pounds. So he's scuba diving. I got him by the ankles. I'm like, this ain't good. This ain't good. This is going to end badly. But he got the plug in and he kicked his legs. I pulled him up. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. I'm half asleep. He says, "Grab my ankles." I'm like, so you got more interesting things I've had happen.
So you got a guy with no clothes on, or just his underwear on, saying, "Grab my ankles."
Yeah. And he's scuba diving, putting the plug in. I'm like, okay, man, that's your boat, man. Hey.
Yeah, I was at an open. No, it was a BFL this year. The guy forgot to take the motor toter off.
Yep.
Oh
man.
Yeah, that's fun. He went to get on plane and nope, didn't go anywhere.
Not good.
No. But no, we all have stories, and that's one of the best parts about the fishing tournaments. Getting the story, getting to meet people, the camaraderie.
Yep.
We could sit here for hours and just tell stories back and forth.
Oh yeah, you learn what to do and what not to do.
Exactly.
Yep. So yeah, I've done both.
Yep. Same here. Same here. I think the worst thing, well, outside my boat accident, is I was fishing out open on St. Lawrence River, and we went to launch the boat, and the guy's trim didn't work,
Ooh.
so we couldn't raise the motor up.
Yeah, I had that happen. I had an old team partner. Excuse me. I had a team partner, and we was fishing a night tournament. And that happened when we was going back. Well, we started back, and then the tilt trim motor went out, and of course there's one little cloud over here, and it's like it's 1%. I'll never forget it. The weatherman literally said 1% shot of rain. So you know what happened? It poured. Didn't bring any of my rain gear. I got soaked to the bone. I was pruned, and I'm trying to pick this motor up. So we're trying to load it. And yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, well, being in New York, I always bring my rain gear. I don't care if it's a 0%
I do after that.
Because it can be rough.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected. Yeah, that's. Well, usually,
Yes,
I wear it in the morning. So if I wear my rain gear, I know it's not going to rain. Usually. So that I use the reverse psychology that way. And plus, that keeps me warmer and the wind off of me. So.
Yeah, I always start with it on only because you don't know if you're going to stick a wave or not. Like, especially up here, because even when it's calm, there's still a foot chop.
Oh yeah, y'all.
It seems like
y'all got some heck of waves up here.
Yeah, you can ask our buddy Jeremy if he likes them.
Yeah, I heard he got a little green around the gills. I hear.
Yeah, he did. But, all right, well, I just want to put a little plug in for next week's show. We're having. Is it next week or is it January 13th? I can't remember.
I can't either. I can't either. I can't keep
I
up.
I don't think it's this week. The 20th, we're having Todd Gogue. He is the National Professional Fishing League reigning angler of the year.
Absolute stick, so, great guy
he's
too.
He's going to be on here on the 20th.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, that'd be a great guest there. So, I saw him in a couple interviews, and hey, thanks for tuning in, Robert. Robert Brown says, first time tuning in. Looks to be a great topic. Yeah, I said we could talk co-angling all night. We've done a little bit of everything.
Yes, sir. And it's fun. It's always fun. We also have pros on here, and from time to time. And once again, I apologize, everybody. Violetta had an emergency that she couldn't attend tonight's show. We are going to reschedule with her. So keep an eye on that. You can go to Rob's Facebook page, my Facebook page, or our channel's Facebook page, which is Co-Angler Corner on Facebook. And you can see all of our upcoming shows, because I think we're good up until, I don't know, March maybe. We got shows booked out. Yeah. So, all right. Anything else you want to add, Rob?
No, I think boy, time flew. It's 53 minutes, and mass flew by.
Yes, it did. Yes.
But we appreciate everybody tuning in and asking the questions, and hope to see you back next time. And if we don't talk to you then, everybody have a good holiday and a safe New Year's.
Yes, sir. Same here. All right. So for the